Hello, everyone. Hope you are doing well. So here we have another question from the same passage, and the direction for question is answer the following question based on the information given. As we have already read this text and we understood that uh, how the text talks about India, China, and South Korea, and specifically it tells about the process of reversing sex education, sex selection that doesn't happen until countries are richer than India or China are now. So, and also it stated one of the particular country called South Korea, how it succeeded in ending the practice where the sex ratio at birth peaked in 1990 has since fallen to near normal levels, isn't it? So let's look at the question. So what does the question ask here? Which of the following can be inferred from the passage? So it's a inference-based question. Look at the each choice given here. So the first choice stated that the emerging middle class in India had shown a stronger preference for male children compared to the mature middle class. Second, the decline in the size of the emerging middle class in India has contributed to an increase in the prevalence of sex selection. And the third, the census data may not fully capture recent changes in the sex ratio at birth in India, as suggested by the NSS figures. And the fourth, the success of South Korea in reversing the trend of sex selection provides evidence that economic development is a primary factor influencing the practice. Now, on the basis of the kind of a question where it is asked about the inference, so what we can find out, uh, it is stated about the text, stated about the census data, right? Census data may not fully capture recent changes in the sex ratio at birth in India, as suggested by the NSS, right? So that we find out in the first paragraph itself. So the passage mentioned that the NSS figures show a significant increase in India's sex ratio at birth, which may not be fully captured by the census. This implies that there could be discrepancy between the, you can say that two sets of two sets of data, two sets of data, indicating that the census data may not fully capture recent changes in the sex ratio at birth in India. Therefore, if you talk about the first option, emerging middle class in India has shown a stronger preference for male children compared to the mature middle class, can be called as a kind of an answer which inferred from the text. Look at the each second option. So the decline in the size of the emerging middle class in India has contributed to an increase in the prevalence of sex selection. So we can say that the last line of second paragraph, you can see that here, uh, last line of second paragraph, refute this option due to lesser percentage participation. So where it is stated, no, if you read that sentences where it is stated, now, however, comes evident that India may in fact by fact be succeeding in a pair of articles which is Valia, an economist, and Ravinder Kaur, a sociologist, to use different set of figures to get a different result. On the basis of the NSS, they calculate that India's sex ratio at birth swung from 9 to 4 females per 1,000 males, a stunning turnaround in favor of girls. The NSS figure is not comparable to the census, right? It shows the sex ratio at birth, whereas the census shows the ratio for children at 0 to 6, but there are reasons for thinking the NSS is reliable. The sample size of 125,000 household is large, and when the NSS does produce figures comparable to the census, they closely match it, isn't it? So the new figure represents a very big change. A sex ratio of 977 girls to 1,000 boys is closer to what prevailed in the 1960s than it is to more recent decades, isn't it? So in that case, if you talk about the last line of the second paragraph, refute this option due to lesser percentage participation. So that's therefore we can find out the second option, which is disrupting the idea. Now look at the third one. The third option stated the census data may not fully capture recent changes in the sex ratio at birth India. birth in India as suggested by the NSS figures. So you would find out that no such suggestion is mentioned. So hence you can find out the sentence is irrelevant or the choice is irrelevant. Four, the success of South Korea in reversing the trend of sex selection provides evidence that economic development is the primary factor influencing the practice. So uh, this example of just one country cannot be, you can say that cannot be considered um, evidence to establish a notion. So hence you can point out option 2, 3, 4 are irrelevant. Hence option 1 would be the most appropriate answer to this. Hope you understood this. That's all. Thank you.